for right at 10 years. My wife and I started with eLiquids and vape, and then we saw kind of a turn in the industry, so we went into CBD that we were somewhat familiar with about 3 years ago, and invested a lot of time, money, a whole year into creating the CBD division. And now that is a majority of our business and time is creating brands and CBD products for private label.
Amazing, right? And a lot of people here are probably familiar with the company in general, but if you're not familiar, go find them on Twitter. They're Stephen and Ashley are both very active, and other employees as well, on updates for developments on the company, and there's a big contract that just got signed last week, right, Stephen?
Yes.
Right. So
yeah, signing. Yeah, they're updating. I believe next month after the walks.
Mm-hmm. So we'll come back to the Dr. CBD deal in a minute.
Perfect.
I want to start some questions. We're curious around how the team is growing currently, and future thoughts on how the company will grow. So how many employees do you currently have, and are you still hiring, and what's your growth plan going forward?
Sure. Yeah, currently we are at 12 employees, including the management and executive team. Coming off of COVID, where our staff was kind of having to wear a lot of hats. So right now our plan is to get about 6 or 7 staff members in here by the end of the year to fill out the sales team, production, and warehousing as well.
Great. It'd be like a 50% increase goal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. 2021, it's a pretty good number for us at this location in its current setup to be to almost max capacity. So.
Right. You can use it to its full potential. You've all been doing, like you said, wearing different hats. You've been doing a lot of work on putting a lot of work on your back the last few months. So
yeah, the whole staff, they're all doing double duty. I got my shipping guys, also my production guy. So yeah, it's gonna be nice to get some disperse the workload across, and really have people be able to focus in on
mm-hmm.
exact job titles and functions.
So you mentioned that's at this one location, which is where?
Yes. We're in South Orange County, California. Lisa Vietnam.
And is that your only location?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, we have the full facility, offices, production, warehousing, and sales team all on staff here.
Okay, so everything kind of touches base there. Do you have any plans right now to expand outside of Orange County? Maybe within California or outside California, or even outside the country? But it's probably pretty early for international development.
Yeah, that one different thought.
Right.
No, we're pretty good right where we're at, and there's really not a necessity to have multiple locations.
Right.
We rarely get visitors. Mm-hmm. I'd say we do set up locals, or if a couple of our clients are in town, they'll come in and sit in our boardroom, and we'll discuss some new ideas and talk with them. But yeah, we ship everything straight out of the back here, so really no need to have multiple locations on that.
We saw on Twitter recently the I forget which account posted it, but the robot that you got to help in production. It seems like you've got, rather than expanding, the focus is kind of on fleshing out the site you do have, right? Because mm-hmm. It sounds like from what you're saying that you don't think you're at really anywhere near max capacity there at that site. Okay.
Not at all. We've got some plans that we've already drawn up, and we're kind of working towards to revamp, redesign the production clean room, mm-hmm. With the addition of some new, much needed equipment to automate a couple of processes, like you saw that one, the video.
Right.
That was our new short run lotion filling, just because we're getting to the point where we're getting a lot of that size container jars being ordered. Mm-hmm. So we're able to automate a lot of those processes to reduce the cost and
So
speed up production.
so how do you source these tools to go in the factory line? Is it industry standard kind of stuff, or you have to contact vendors and have things custom made for you guys?
There's a couple of machinery options that are pretty much just plug and play, and we just integrate them into our line designs.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, since we're not just filling one size bottle or one container or one type of product, and we're just doing that for a week long production time, we really, more often than not, we have these machines customized for our needs, where we can quickly change the rails or the setup or the size or the volume filling, so we can use that one machine across multiple SKUs or multiple product and container types.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 times out of 10, we end up getting some sort of customization designed and built on these machinery.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I know that it makes there's more front-loaded work when you do something like that rather than just a plug and play, and there can be some issues that weren't planned for, but in general, once it's set up and the knowledge of the tool is on site for your company, then it gives you a lot of flexibility. So
Definitely.
right.
We've been in situations in the past where it's like, I don't think we'll ever need that size or that option. And then 6 months down the road, it's like, man, I wish
Right.
we would have got the bigger belt or the bigger motor or something. So I think with the experience and the team we have downstairs, they're pretty good at anticipating and designing these things in a way that maximizes.
And I think it's it's an important thing to stress that how you're automating your process there, because it's never something that's easy to plan for necessarily, and the upfront cost and time needed to get that up and running is it's an investment that you probably feel a little nervous about as you're setting it up, because you don't know if it will it meet the future request or not. So having a focus on being flexible like that, I think is a huge thing that will really help you out, because it just cuts the capital cost of getting your process up and running down if you can repurpose tools and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
So you mentioned you started with the nicotine vape market and then moved into CBD. So do you still manufacture both, or is it just the CBD products?
No, we still manufacture. I'd say about 20% of our production is still dedicated to eLiquid manufacturing. We went through all of the pre-market tobacco applications with the FDA, and it was a lot of work in the past few years. So we still have a handful of really good clients, and we've really seen an increase in their ordering and their sizes, mainly due to the PACT Act that was initiated or vape got drawn into beginning of this year. So we've seen a lot of retailers that we still do business with really increase. Some of them even doubled their order size and frequency over the past 6 to 12 months.
So that's part of the reason the revenues have been growing so well this past year.
Yeah, that's. I mean, the CBD is still consistently growing.
Right.
With the new sales director and Ashley with all the marketing and getting a sales team back together after everything. The eLiquid one has been very beneficial as well. Keep on staff.
So you sell more CBD stuff now, and do you plan on continuing to increase that and phase out the eLiquid, or to support both over the medium term over the next 5 to 10 years?
I would say not phase it out. We got so proficient at creating these processes and the systems in place where it's not a lot of effort to produce the liquids, and especially now that the SKU count. I think when our PMTAs were submitted initially, it was over 250,000 recipes and SKUs. So I
Wow.
think we're down to under 20,000 now because of all the clients that just didn't want to hassle with it or have dropped off
Mm-hmm.
and not doing the business anymore. So that part, I think we definitely still keep. We've grown with these guys. Some of them starting out back in almost 10 years ago, and we've been with them every step of the way. So we really want to continue to support those guys and their efforts going forward as well.
Great. Yeah, it's it's good to. There's no need to phase out the eLiquid because I don't that market's also really not going anywhere with the CBD as well.
It's just being restricted more, which it should be.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah, and we're still so early on in the fact that eLiquid even exists, and the government's going to catch up to that and figure out how to regulate it, but it's it's just volatile for now, really, until
yeah,
it's figured out.
every state's different. So
Mhm. Yeah, that's another benefit just staying in one state right now, I bet. Um, so you just said that you'd kind of downsized the recipes that you need to support your clients, but uh, last interview, you had said that you had about 400 brands. So did that get? I mean, that I don't know when this was stated exactly. There's no date. This is just one of the questions that was submitted. But did has that been reduced from 400 alongside the recipes for production?
no, I'd say that's still a very true number.
Okay.
The recipe submissions were about 2.5, 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and our clients didn't really. They were all freaking out, so we just submitted every recipe that we had for every one of our clients. So it was pretty healthy upload to the FDA servers.
Yep.
But no, for the most part, we're still. I would say 400 is a good number.
Mm-hmm.
Where it used to be, we had in the thousands, but it was a lot of small orders, a lot of eLiquid, very short runs,
Mm-hmm.
but we were able to efficiently get them out the door pretty fast. Now with our focus being on CBD, the numbers kind of flipped. So we have a lower brand or client count, but the much larger production orders or production runs.
Mm-hmm.
And we really kind of focused or made sure it was designed that way. So the CBD can get a lot more attention. I think there's 12 quality assurance checkpoints instead of the 6 or 7 that we have with eLiquids. So there's a lot more eyes on it, a lot more hands on it, and they're able to really put out an amazing product.
Yeah, it's a good thing too to have higher volume orders from list clients. It makes things less complicated for the management side, I'd imagine.
Yeah, a little bit easier to anticipate.
Right. Yeah, and meet so you don't have
Trends.
overlapping orders and long lead times, right?
Yeah, they don't like that too much.
Right. I wouldn't expect so. All right. So, but besides eLiquid and CBD, do you have any other plans for new products or other types?
Oh, that's a good question. No, we're just going to stick with our core business model of the CBD. We don't have any brands ourselves. We don't sell directly to consumer or any retail brands. So our focus is putting out additional product lines that support our current clients or our current models. New bottle container options or sizes, different formulations. I think they were looking at bath bombs last month. So
Mm-hmm.
I got my R&D guys looking into that, see if that's something we want to get into.
Nice.
So just a more product offerings within the same umbrella, so we don't really take our eye off the focus of the company and try to do too many different things and not do anything very efficiently.
Yeah, that I like to hear that. It makes sense. You kind of master what you are doing, and because you're still early on and as far as getting clients and forming business relationships are, and so there's really no need to widen the scope past
Right.
beyond what you're already offering. Like you said,
Yeah,
the CBD bath bombs or something in addition to uh, the other products you have, but at least it's under the same idea.
exactly.
hmm Uh, so you had I'm not sure if I even heard this myself, but you had spoken on expansion plans previously,
Hmm.
and right now during this call we're saying that there's still a lot of room to flesh out the location that you are at. So by expansion, would that mean adding on to the facility you do have, or relocating to a larger one, or opening a second one entirely?
No, our current our kind of two-phase plan. Our stage one is just really a reconfiguration and a refresh of the clean room.
Mm-hmm.
It's We're still coming off of, we just pulled out one of our plastic production lines for eLiquid, and repurposed a lot of those components. So the lab and the warehouse situation, is really designed for mass production of low SKUs, primarily the eLiquid. So we're slowly moving a couple things. We just refurbished one of the rooms that we're dedicating for capsule packing and any powders.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of get them away from everything else. So
Nice.
we're really just working within the constraints of what we have here and redesigning and making everything more efficient and user friendly for the staff. Uh, we have plenty of room to grow. We can more than double our capacity here, especially with these changes that are coming in the next 6 to 9 months
Yep.
that we plan on
And
doing.
as I'm an engineer myself, and so I like hearing that your focus is on optimizing uh, the process, because I think what a lot of people don't realize is there's invisible kind of uh, maybe barriers, or the bottlenecks. There's like invisible bottlenecks in the factory, right?
Mm-hmm.
That it's even things like making the interface easier for the operators to use is a big thing. And so focusing on doing that first is laying a solid groundwork to expand from. Otherwise, expanding too quickly, could actually, that ends in disaster a lot of times.
Yeah,
hmm
and that's a couple of things. Is if I'm down there all day or working in production, it makes sense for us. But then when my wife comes down, she's really good at pointing out these things that just don't make sense to anybody else but the people using them.
Right.
So to get another pair of eyes on there and really kind of see like the potential, what we could be doing and how we could be doing it better is something that we're always
Yeah, it's really hard to get that zoomed out view when you're the one focus
yeah.
so hard on the problem. You'll probably never see some obvious some obvious things that are
Exactly.
little annoyances or things to work around. So yeah, that's great here. Expanding by optimizing it first, and then if depending how things look in the future down the road, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that's a different question then.
Oh yeah, totally.
hmm
I'm always up for more storage, and
Yes.
we're up to 12-foot racks in the warehouse now instead of the 8-footers. So I think I'm pretty much maxed on the
hmm
containers we can store here now.
So yeah,
But
the storage, I'd imagine that'd be the first thing that you would need to resolve, if anything, uh, before production is capped out.
yeah,
hmm
the storage of enough raw materials
Right. But
and a variety of.
the storage is a little easier to sort out in short time compared to opening another production line.
Definitely.
hmm Uh, so when you talked about investment financing, it
Mhm.
sounds like non-toxic private investors are
Correct.
interested. So can you tell us a little bit about uh, this financing, and will if there's shares granted to the private investors, will they be restricted, and for how long? Because obviously a big concern in the OTC market is any kind of toxic financing and
Right.
dilution. So it's something a lot of people are interested in.
No, totally. And No, I completely understand. We're talking to a few private investors right now for this round of funding. The terms, we're still negotiating on the terms, but more than likely, we will do some private placement for the investors, and they will get shares. Yeah, those will hold a 12-month restriction period.
Great. Perfect. And some details, on that will obviously come out when you can talk about that. But
Right.
do you are you able to speak on some more clarity being provided on that within the next few months or by the end of this year?
Yeah, we're looking to wrap up all the investment round. We're shooting for the end of this quarter, which is coming up pretty quick here.
Yep.
Probably middle of next quarter, we'll have all those completed and start working on our expansion plans and our upgrades.
Right. Okay, so yeah, it just depends on if you can get it by the end of this quarter or not. It's kind of it's tough to estimate the timelines there, right?
Yeah, it's going to be in the next 6 to 12 weeks, and we'll announce it separately when those finalize, and of course they'll be on our quarterlies as well.
Okay. Kind of related to this, we know you're going through the FINRA name change and audit. Maybe an update on that if you have any, even because we know you've also been waiting for the clearance on their side to go through for the name change, but yeah. So any updates on that, and do you still foresee uplisting to OTCQ in 2022 once all this is settled?
Yeah, that's most definitely that's one of our goals.
Mm-hmm.
We want to make sure it's the right time, and it's mutually beneficial for the shareholders and the company to do so. But that is on plan to do in 2022.
All right, great. And do you know for the name change? Have you heard anything back from FINRA?
Not heard back yet. They definitely stretch out those up to 10 business days to the last day, and then let you know that there's more documentation needed. So I know Ashley was speaking with her last week, and I was out last week. So I should have more information. I would say definitely before the end of the month. We should have an answer by then.
All right. So now this seems like a turning point for your company. At least positioning to a new path forward, new future, kind of. And so where do you ultimately see the company 1 to 2 years from now, and how are you planning on advertising your products? Are they going to remain the way you have been sourcing clients now, or do you have new ideas as well?
Yeah, the first part, 1 to 2 years down the road, we've seen real positive trends this year in both the liquid sector and the CBD sector. I'm confident that we would, in the next 1 to 2 years, we should double, if not triple, our size, revenue, staffing, product offerings, etc. As far as the advertising, that's a little tricky. As you know, we don't have any house brands, so we can't go directly consumer, and the traditional marketing advertising model is really not effective for us. So we're trying to find those entrepreneurs that want to start a CBD brand or have an idea about one, or an existing brand that wants to add new services or products. Right. So we really try to embed the thought of we're more of a service-based company that offers everything you need to be able to take a product, CBD product, to market. So in doing that the marketing and advertising, that's why Ashley is amazing. She handles that side of it because she really knows how to find those consumers, and when we do find them, what are they looking for? So one of the few things that we're dedicating some resources and time and money for is the updating of our website. So we're building a more dynamic, user-friendly website that will allow much more interaction, much more information
Great.
to all of our clients and ordering processes.
Very important.
It's right now it's just been informational for people, but there's no dynamic, there's no triggers to kind of help these people answer questions that they might have that they don't know they have yet. And then also Michelle and Ashley are developing some new outreach programs for our sales staff to be able to find those entrepreneurs and that audience a little easier and help them guide through the process of putting product to market or private label processing as well.
Great. So, Ashley's been, it seems like she's been doing a great job on social media as well, and now reaching out to potential clients is her focus. So is she in charge of, if I don't know if you have a direct marketing or advertising section of your company yet, but is Ashley basically in charge of all that?
That is Ashley. Yeah, she's in charge of customer service, marketing, advertising, investor relations. Really, the touch points between how we're represented as a company and how our clients and our customers and our shareholders are seeing us as well, and making sure that we are completely transparent to the information that you guys are needing.
Right. So yeah, this whole transformation or not transformation, but updates and stuff is all headed under Ashley.
Yeah, as fast as I can get her the information.
Right. Great.
But yeah.
All right. Really quick, Stephen, we have a couple more questions on the list I sent you, and then maybe we'll open it up for if anyone has questions on the fly right here to ask. But I'm going to hand the mic off to Jeff because I got asked at the last minute here to interview someone for my job here in a few minutes. So I'm going to have to let Jeff finish us off and say it was great speaking with you. You and your team. I think it's a lot of the people in this server are very optimistic on you guys because you've been great at updating us. You have a very solid company and vision as well, and it's just the results are speaking for themselves. And honestly, as long as you keep doing what you're doing, it's looking good. So congratulations, and congratulations on the contract you just signed as well. So hopefully I'll get to talk with you again one day, and look forward to the rest of the year and following your company in the future.
Definitely.
All right,
Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
You got it, Jeff?
Mike, I'm sorry I didn't get the question list sent to you.
Oh, all right. It might be. I thought I forwarded it to you. Maybe I went to the wrong one. It was the Yahoo email, but I will send you a Discord message now with the 3 that are left.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Stephen.
Yep. How are you?
Very good. Okay, so the CBD sector is projected to be a $5 billion industry, or quite a bit more in the next several years. As an entrepreneur, what is your overall thoughts on the overall growth rate that's been going in the CBD sales in general, and recognition among the industry in general?
The CBD sector it's such a unique industry. It's something that's been around for a long time, but recently people are just now starting to notice it, and it's coming into the spotlight. So I believe it's a result of the research that's becoming more and more available. People, this age group is looking for natural alternatives, and the growth is just exponential because it can span so many industries. Looking back at something like e-cigarettes or e-vape, you're really just marketing towards people who are smokers that are looking to quit. Where CBD, oh my gosh, you can do the pet industry, the beauty industry, the health and supplement industry. There's just so many things that can benefit from CBD and the cannabinoids that it's just been explosive growth, and we are just so blessed to be part of that.
I definitely agree. I have a personal interest in CBD as I suffer from multiple sclerosis. So the MS Society actually is a big supporter of CBD products and sends out regular updates on CBD products and recommends it as one of the top treatments for MS patients, and along with epilepsy and Parkinson's and everything else. So it has a big medical effect, as well as for other uses, treatments and oils and creams and rubs, and it's going to probably be just a massive industry going forward. I can see. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're completely right. The industry's only focusing on CBD. It's like there's 60 other cannabinoids that are known in the hemp plant and now you're seeing labels with CBD and CBN and CBGs, and they're just barely starting to break through of what this stuff can do.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys have any plans to explore any of those other byproducts down the road?
Yeah, no, completely. I mean, that's right within our wheelhouse, and we think we're testing. I believe we have a couple products out under a couple of our client brands that they are CBD and CBN infused. So they're not just the normal full spectrum, a couple micrograms or something of the other minor cannabinoids. They're significantly up there, and like I said, there's just so many other ones that we haven't even seen yet on the market that are becoming more and more usable, and information about them is being researched and given out as well.
Yeah. So with so many of the different competitors in your sector making CBD products, do you have any special message to draw customers toward your specific white label company? Is there any type of specific benefit to working with you?
Yes, I mean, completely. We're like I was speaking on earlier with Mike. We really try to promote and make sure we're painted in the picture of we're a service-based company. The products are simply a byproduct or a result of being efficient and being passionate and having good processes and offering the services through knowledgeable people and a network to be able to create that product. So a lot of people say the one-stop shop, and it's kind of got some truth behind it, where if you have to order labels from this label company and then boxes from this company, and I mean, these business owners and these brand owners, that's a huge undertaking for them to coordinate between 3, 4, 5 vendors and suppliers and manufacturers to be able to get all the pieces in place. And that's just one piece of their business model. That's the product. They still have to worry about sales and marketing and websites and social media. So the more and more services that we can offer to our customers, it takes the load off of them and they can focus on what they do. And this is what we do. But it also kind of gives us the opportunity to control a lot more of the aspects of everything. Since we've built this network and these processes over the past 10 years, I mean, somebody says they want a green bottle with swirly purple marks on it. Where do they start looking on Google? It's like, well, I've already got a guy that I know he can do that. So just being able to offer multiple services with our 10 plus years of experience, I think is really our competitive advantage.
Customizable products.
Traditional. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're not the traditional white label manufacturer or a large scale custom product development that takes 6 months to go to market. We're kind of right in the middle, and they can get what they need from us. And if we can't provide it, then we know somebody who can. I mean, we've been asked to make gummies all the time. It's like, we're not a candy manufacturer, so we sub out our CBD gummies because that's just not. We don't want to lose focus on what we do very well, and we'll be more than happy to make sure your brand's successful, not just the product is good.
Yeah. So you're there to help facilitate, companies that are getting started, get started.
Oh, completely. And just to talk on the service aspect, that's one of the things Ashley has been focusing on this year with our graphic design team, is offering design services and marketing services. So they're putting a lot together in the way of launching that full package, getting started, graphics and marketing and websites and that aspect that we've been asked for a couple of years now. And that should be an amazing asset as well to be able to help.
That's really amazing, actually, because I think a lot of the reason why a lot of these startup smaller companies fail is because they open up and they just don't know what they're doing.
Right.
So they're failing because they're not doing out proper marketing or proper bottle labeling or proper product presentation. So having somebody with the experience and know-how like you guys have stepping in and saying, here's how you do it, here's how you become successful, and we're going to support you from the beginning to the end, is going to really help make them successful and in turn make you successful.
Completely. I mean, our success 100% relies on the success of our clients and their brands. So anything we can do to provide, our knowledge, our tools, hell, even what not to do, fails that we've seen in this and other private label industries with vape and everything. It's very beneficial, and I think it's mutually beneficial for everyone involved as well.
Sounds fantastic. Now, one big question, of course, is are there any updates on the Dr. CBD deal?
Yes, we just met with him last week. I know he's busy focusing on his walk this weekend. I believe it's coming up this Saturday. He's doing the Susan G. Komen walk for Orange County, and he is finalizing all the product and the pitch information for Susan G. Komen for the national rollout, the test stores in the Walgreens and Pavilions, Costco, Roadshow, and things like that. So we're helping him with those right now, so we can get that ball rolling beginning of Q4. And he says he's got some pretty good things on upcoming here that we'll be able to announce.
So at this point, the products are not in the stores yet?
They are in a couple of test stores. I know the Costco the Roadshow, that one, I don't have an exact date on the launch of that.
Okay.
They're still figuring out when the best time for that's going to be, probably around the holidays. So there's a little bit more fine tuning to do before we put the ink down on those guys and have solid dates and times and figures. But yeah, we're really excited, and I think it's going to be amazing for both of us.
Yeah, sounds like it. Yeah, the getting in those stores and with the opportunity to go nationwide and those retailers would really be the key to the next step for you guys.
That would probably definitely need us to get a bigger facility.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think that's mostly our questions. Let me see if I came up with any other questions here from the group. I'm just going to scroll quickly through this. Did you have anything that you wanted to talk about at all, Stephen?
No, I think you guys covered everything that I want to go over. That was great.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, I think that, well, I really thank you for coming out and meeting with us this evening. You answered all our questions. I really appreciate it. And thanks again for being on with us this evening.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and we'll talk again soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. Have a good
Great,
evening.
thank you. You too. Bye now. Sorry, I had to jump in first half of.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
That sounds kind of stupid.
No, you were fine. You didn't explain anything to me, so I was literally doing the same thing.
I was just jumping in a call. I didn't even know. I didn't even
Dude,
remember what was
I
happening.
messaged freaking 3 different people. I forgot exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So that he said, freaking this one guy is usually the talker in the group.
You got a recording, right?
Well, yeah, but it's already posted. Like, I already left the link. I can get the exact link and tell them when to skip to, because a bit you can see me messaging accidentally. But it doesn't really matter, because it was just a fuck up, but I didn't know what was going on at all.
Where are you gonna post that?
What?
Where's it gonna post that?
When is it going to post?
Where are you gonna post it?
When?
Where?
Twitch. It's already posted. And I'm linking it right now.
Okay, you can send a link to the Discord.
Yeah. I'll just say start at.
Just post at everybody in the Discord.
That's what you write? At everybody?
At everyone, and just post it in the MSMY.
Okay. At everyone. And post it. Okay, so it starts at.
Ever have
He does stutter a lot, that guy, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I've noticed that too. Like, I'm much clearer speaking, aren't I?
So I'm going to start tool setup.
Did I sound pretty okay in the interview?
6 minutes, 30 seconds. Yeah, it is. It's just because I needed people to do a check, because last time I did it, I couldn't get this.